Hey everyone, and welcome. If you're a solo creator, you know the struggle is real when it comes to making your stuff look and sound truly professional. Well, today, we're going to demystify the two key things that will absolutely transform your work: lighting and sound. So let's just dive right in.
So what is it? What's that invisible wall that seems to separate your videos from the ones you really admire? You know, you've got a great camera, a solid idea, but something's still just a little bit off.
Well, that wall, that big difference, it's almost always built from just two things. On one side, you've got those harsh shadows, that muffled, distracting audio, and just a flat, kind of boring look. But on the other side, soft, beautiful light, crisp dialogue, and a real sense of depth. See, the secret isn't some $1,000 camera. It's getting a handle on light and sound.
Okay, so if the secret is just mastering these two things, how do you actually do it? That's the solo creator's dilemma, right? You're a one-person band. Your whole path to pro-level quality really just rests on mastering these two pillars: light, which shapes the mood and feel of your visuals, and sound, which builds that crucial credibility and keeps your audience locked in. Let's break them down. Let's start with that first pillar, light. I want you to think of yourself as a painter. Light is your brush. It's really the main tool you have for guiding your viewer's eye and telling a powerful visual story. Now, the most accessible tool in your entire kit is, of course, natural light. Yeah, we're just talking about the sun. It's the starting point for pretty much every single creator out there.
And here's the interesting part, the big trade-off. Natural light is amazing. It's free, it's everywhere, and it can look absolutely gorgeous, especially during that golden hour, early in the morning or late in the afternoon. But, and this is a big but, it's also completely unpredictable. Clouds can roll in, the sun moves, and that harsh midday light, it can create some seriously unflattering shadows.
So when you need that consistency, when you need complete creative control, you turn to artificial light. We're talking about your LED panels, your softboxes. These are tools designed specifically to give you total power over every aspect of your lighting.
And here's the other side of that coin. With artificial lights, you get total control and repeatable, consistent results, which, honestly, is a lifesaver. The trade-off, though, is that it costs money, it needs power, and it definitely takes time to set up. There's no right or wrong answer here. It's just about picking the right tool for the job you're doing. So, whether you're using the sun or your own lamps, how do you set them up for that professional look? This is where a super simple, repeatable formula comes in, and it's called three-point lighting. It's the bedrock of pro interviews for a reason. It just works every single time. Let's build it out. It all starts with your key light. Think of this as the star of the show, your main and strongest light source. It's doing most of the heavy lifting to illuminate your subject. But a strong key light is going to create some pretty strong shadows. So you bring in the fill light. This one's a softer, less intense light that you put on the opposite side, and its only job is to fill in those shadows and give you a more balanced, flattering look. And this is the final touch, the secret sauce. The backlight, which is sometimes called a hair light, hits you from behind. Its job is to create this really subtle rim of light around you, which separates you from the background and gives the whole shot a real sense of depth. It's what makes you pop right off the screen.
Okay, let's switch gears and talk about our second pillar, your essential audio toolkit. And look, I'm going to make a pretty bold claim here. For most content, especially for us solo creators, sound is actually more important than your video.
And this quote right here says it all. Poor sound instantly makes professional footage feel unprofessional. I mean, you can have the most beautifully lit, cinematic shot in the world, but if the audio's buzzing or muffled or full of echoes, your audience is going to click away. Clean audio builds trust. It builds credibility. Choosing the right microphone is kind of like choosing the right lens. Each one has a very specific job. You know, if you're doing an interview, a small lavalier mic clipped to a collar is going to be perfect for clear dialogue. But if you're outside, a directional shotgun mic is going to isolate your subject's voice from all that background noise. It's not about one mic being better than another. It's about matching the tool to the specific situation. But you know, having the right gear is only half the battle. Now we've got to talk about technique. How do you, as a solo operator, juggling a camera and literally everything else, actually capture that flawless sound?
Let's start with maybe the most important number in all of audio, your audio levels. You want them to be consistently peaking somewhere between -12 and -6 decibels. If you go higher, if you go into the red, your audio will distort, and that's a mistake you just can't fix later. Stay in this sweet spot and you're going to have clean, usable audio every single time.
Okay, think of this as your pre-flight checklist for audio. Number 1, always use headphones.
Your camera's tiny little speaker will lie to you about what the microphone is actually hearing. 2. Do a sound check before every single take. I mean it. Every single time. 3. If you're outside, use that furry windshield, the thing we call a dead cat. It works by creating a pocket of dead air around the mic, and that diffuses the wind before it can cause that horrible rumbling sound. And 4. Record 30 seconds of silence, or room tone. This is like a digital patch kit. It lets you seamlessly fill in gaps or even use noise reduction software way more effectively in your edit. It's a total pro move that takes 0 time.
Okay, so you did it. You've shot your beautifully lit video, and you've recorded crystal clear audio on a separate device. Now for the final step, bringing it all together in post-production.
And honestly, this is way simpler than it sounds. The easiest way is to just clap your hands on camera at the start of your take. This creates a really sharp spike in the audio waveform and a super clear visual cue. Then, in your editing software, you just line up that spike from your camera audio with the spike from your good audio. Once they're aligned, you mute the bad camera audio and, boom, you're left with perfectly synced, high-quality sound.
So let's just recap the big stuff. Remember, the lighting is what shapes the emotion of your shot, while sound is what builds that realism and credibility. Know the trade-offs. Natural light is free but wild, and artificial light gives you control, but you have to plan for it. And please, above all else, prioritize clean sound. Mastering these 2 pillars is really what's going to elevate your solo storytelling to a professional level.
I'll leave you with just one final thought to chew on. Why is it that we, as viewers, can forgive a shaky handheld video, but the second we hear about audio, a buzz, an echo, some distracting hum, we are immediately ripped out of the experience? It's kind of weird, right? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.